So I'm going to start this off with a trivia contest, and the winner will actually get this freaking party pack, Family Guy thing. It's got ping pong paddles and nets and balls, poker chips, cards, seasons 1 through 4.
Not to mention it's family here.
Oh yeah, Family Guys. But you get to have this if you can answer this trivia question. And
Jason,
raise your hand.
Participate.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody can. Anybody can.
He said yes.
You need to raise your hand.
56.
Let me call
Abraham
you. Don't
Lincoln.
just start shouting stuff out. So here, yes.
No, I'm just getting ready.
Oh, okay. So the trivia question is: get Google ready for anybody who's ready to Google.
No.
Give me the name of all the hackers, their aliases, and/or real name from the movie Hackers. Go.
Freak, Joey, Crash Override, and Acid Burn.
Nope.
And
Serial killer and Lord
serial
Nikon.
killer. Yeah.
Serial killers,
Right.
Daniel
Jason.
Goldstein.
Yep. Well, I think you give to him to get most of them. It's all right. Or we can
I
split
haven't
it.
split mine ours, so.
We're gonna split that. 'Cause it's all right.
I
I got a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old daughter, so I was like, that's my wife probably won't do that in the house. we'll split that.
let's go with Naked Peter.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so this is my presentation on hard target versus soft target. I don't know how well known that is outside of military terms, but it's the idea of making yourself more aware versus somebody who is unaware. So, situational awareness guide to breaking habits to prevent yourself from being socially engineered or become a paranoid son of a bitch. Okay, so some of the objectives is, I want to educate you on the way that people may social engineer other people, point out habits that you may not realize that you have, and put things in perspective and gain knowledge on how to prevent someone from social engineering you. Okay, we cover like driving habits. This is departure times of somebody who's leaving their house. You can tell that they leave the house pretty much within 5 minutes of each other. That's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's always the same time, so you can expect that person when they may be leaving the house. And then what times they actually leave, clock out until they work. It's the same thing. It's within 5 minutes of each other. Now to take a look at driving habits of a hard target, ranging from 6 a.m. to 6:15 to 5:45 in the morning. It's very sporadic. You become aware of what time did I leave yesterday or whatever it might be, making yourself unaware. You can't try to guess when that person's going to leave the house. The same thing about leaving work. These kind of situations are hard for people who actually work an 8 to 5 job, where it's you work from 8 and you work at 5. So you can't really leave early in some cases. If you write your own schedule, this would be perfect to do to make yourself more of a hard target.
I'm not late to work. I'm just making myself a hard target.
I don't know if that's going to fly, but try it all you want, I guess. So if you're a person that likes to go for coffee every single morning, your soft target arrives at Starbucks at the same address, hitting the exact same times depending on traffic, 06:30. So they're there. That's 6 o'clock. And then for a hard target, they're going to change up their locations where they're going to get their coffee and the times they actually arrive to get there. You also want to take a look. If I left at 5:45 in the morning, drive around, make a couple laps somewhere else, and then come in. So, they can't expect, take about a half hour to leave from work or leave from your house. And so they're going to get there about 6:15. Well, no, this person showed up at 6:20 or earlier than that or whatever it might be. So make yourself, they just can't guesstimate when they're going to be there. This is the lunch habits over on the left-hand side, lunch habits of a soft target. Same place every single time, about the same time, continuously. You can guesstimate when they're going to be there. Make yourself a hard target. Bring your lunch from home, or you can order your food, have it delivered, or if you really want to go in depth, have somebody else order your food and not put your name on you order.
The commies are after me.
Paranoid.
If you're really paranoid, would you really be ordering pizza and other things, having it delivered?
All hackers eat pizza.
For pizza, you have to.
Yeah, yeah.
There are some risks you have to take.
Yes. You have to make that sacrifice.
It's not being paranoid if they're really out to get you.
Yeah, that's. Okay, so this would be the, after work habits, going to a bar, hitting up happy hour. Same, soft target shows up at Tapford, right downtown in Bricktown. Exact same time that they arrive, generally. And some people like to stay a little bit longer. Soft target here is showing about 2 hours. You can guesstimate how long they're going to be there. So it's hard target, no pattern as far as where they go after work. Stop at multiple bars across town. Go out maybe once a week, mostly once every other week.
Soft targets are alcoholic.
Yeah, soft targets, they're alkies. But never on the same day of the week, so switch it up, change up, go to different places. Don't get complacent in where you go. Don't let anybody hold you.
If I really wanted to hit an alcoholic and still loves information, I just wait until he was plastered to go take a bullet.
Which is a perfect time. A lot of people are going to be willing to say anything.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's a nice
Daniel
one.
Street.
They're best.
So hard target would be just don't visit bars.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a social engineering probably mecca right there, to be able to get anything out of anybody, especially if they're hammered. So, next portion, what do your bumper stickers say about you? And this is obviously a little over the top, but I just like that picture.
I want to know.
Probably a soft target, I would have to say.
They're also alcoholic.
So, your bumper stickers say a lot about you. People can use this information against you. If they know, if you know somebody is in the military and come up, let's say, you find out somebody's in the Army, and you stand up next to them and you kind of make fun of the Air Force or something like that. They're going to agree with you. They're going to be like, yeah, the Air Force, I apologize if everybody's in the Air Force here. We all rag on you guys, but we're all brothers.
That's how you found Chris's car, isn't it?
I found his car on, it was actually a UCO sticker because I knew he worked there. So I'll be giving a presentation about how I stalked him, so that'll be a good time right here. So these are different types of other bumper stickers that can say a lot about you. This is, I don't know if you can see the picture up here on the left, but that's George W. Bush. It says, "Miss me yet." Probably guess who they didn't vote for. Just saying. Don't steal the government, or don't steal, the government hates competition. So, you probably guess that the person isn't really fond of the government, period. This next one, Elizabeth Warren for Senate. You can look up Elizabeth Warren, where she's serving and where she did campaign runs. You can find out where the person lives, find out if they're Democrat or Republican or whatever it might be. Next one is kind of my favorite. All your base are belong to us. So you probably guess that person plays a little bit of video games. It's for those who don't play video games, you know the reference to that. That's
I know it's a reference from like an old video game, right?
It's an old, it's an old. I
Poorly translated.
what game is that from? I can't even remember.
I remember the guy who said it was cats. I don't remember the video game.
Yeah, it's.
No, it's from all the way. It's either from like NES era, like early 1990s.
It, I believe, was before Nintendo. I think maybe a second game. Well, even before that. This next sticker here is they're Obama supporter, and you may not know that the person is for gay rights or is gay themselves. That can be used against you. And then the I Love Pitbulls sticker, they're a pet owner, they love pets, we want to put that on the corner, so that can say a lot about them.
If you love your pet, please give us your social security number and bank accounts.
I wouldn't go that far, but some people, you never know. But you can, SPCA, you can approach them, give them a call, say we're with the SPCA for Pitbull Rescues, would you like to make a donation? Hell yeah, I would.
You can figure out that their password's probably one of their pets.
Exactly, pet names.
Yeah, probably
It's one thing
so.
if you know what their pet's name, what kind of dogs they have, pit bull lover, 07. I mean, there's a lot of things that you see there.
There was a group of people up here who actually did everybody here at least that goes to this school knows about how much your student ID actually means to you at your birthday, yeah?
Yeah.
Somebody did a survey from our group downstairs, and they stood outside and said, blah, 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 fill out this form, put your student ID here at your birthday. They did
They
it.
did.
And
Yeah.
it worked.
So like Roy was mentioning, I did a stalking assignment for my pen testing class. Parking permits, staff and faculty, places where you work at, where you go to school at, where you might go for vacation. You're looking at park, where you go to national parks, where you go to vacation.
Yeah, if they left a little paper tag up in their window.
You know how many cars you see where it has multitudes of all the different years that they've gone, you know, it's like they're fanboys of the different parks that they go to. It tells a lot about you, and like Roy mentioned, that's how I found my target. The last thing I needed for my assignment was to find out what kind of car they drove, what car it is, tag number. And I knew the person worked at UCO, and I trolled the parking lot until I found a UCO sticker. Then I looked in the front, and he had a UCO staff sticker on the front. So I kind of narrowed it down right there. I got my last.
So we had a Rose State parking permit and a UCO parking permit.
Well, he didn't have a Rose State on his vehicle. He was very he hid that pretty well. But and I trolled the parking lot in Rose State a lot and looking for him. He was actively hiding himself. He would park in different locations and come in. He would actually park over far side and then come out of campus, or he would walk all the way around and come in. And it took a talk from Kevin Mitnick when he came here to talk. I saw my target walk in and sit down, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I excused myself and I trolled the parking lot. And I was around. And there was a couple cops sitting in the lobby, and I was like, I wonder what they're gonna think. They'd see me trolling around the parking lot taking pictures, so I was like, I gotta come up with an excuse and tell them why I was doing that. Yes,
You're saying we should throw away our Rose State parking pass?
I would not say throw it away.
No.
Unless you want your car towed.
Okay.
If you could go to park, place it, and then take it off when you leave. Put it in your console.
I realize mine's way out of date. I mean, I paid for it, but.
Yeah, mine too. I'm hoping that I don't have to repair it. So.
Wait, what was the story you came up with to tell the police officers? Come up with anything?
Did they even ask?
Basically told them I was on a school assignment.
Did they ask?
No, they didn't. No, I was just thinking, I was like, they're coming back, I'm doing something suspicious by going up and down the parking lot of Rose and something that just tell them I'm doing an assignment for my class, and this is what I'm doing.
And you were walking, right? You weren't driving?
No, I was walking. I was
Yeah.
walking. So I was literally looking up and down all the cars.
I'm looking for purses and
Officer, I'm not doing anything illegal. Leave me alone.
But how eye-opening is it the fact that they didn't ask you anything?
Yes. Well, I don't think they saw me. I was kind of like the side they could see. I did it real quick and did a real quick scan.
Kid, they didn't even ask for my little ticket stub to come back in when the whole little mezzanine was full.
Well, their
Yeah.
job was more crowd control and not ticket
Yeah.
control. So. Okay, so next part is goofy shit on your car or at your house. You see all these different
Like the
sports
title.
flags. You know, if there's a local game in town of your favorite team, where are you going to be? At the game. Where are you not going to be? At your house. So this can tell a lot. You know, if you know a big game is in town, that's the best time to hit their house. Probably not
Say
gonna be-
tonight.
Are you saying they're gonna show up and they're still gonna do it?
Yes. You should be very careful. And hate sports. Never go.
That's true.
So these other bumper stickers here, these are all different radio stations. This is obviously not a real one. If anybody's watched Family Guy, this is my tribute. So this can tell you a lot. You know, the person may be Christian here. They love country music and you know, rock, or I don't know what this is. But you can use this information by calling them up and say you're from a radio station. They won a prize. Get some information about them.
Listen to public radio. They'll never do that to you. Probably so.
That's true. Unless you get some doofus.
They already have your money.
Yeah. Okay, so this is additional stuff that you would find in the yard as well. So you got all these different flags, much like on your car. It says the same story. And then you see all the different custom paint jobs on the curves in front of your house. Alliance, yeah, all the rebels, so they like Star Wars and they're into video games. That's another thing that tells a story about them.
Oh,
So down here, this is one I found interesting. I thought, see like the cross and the different stars. You know the person's very religious. Where are they going to be at on Sunday? Church. Where are you going to be? At their house. Okay, so.
oh no, I can just imagine
That's
somebody.
not very Christian, Mike.
It's very true.
No. The worst part is that I can imagine somebody going up to somebody's house and saying, "Oh, they're like there's somebody that's actually like in-depth hacker and stuff, seeing that they're like into a lot of alliance or something like that, and actually like if they have a what's it called an open email or not an open network, actually stalking that network and slowly putting in like emails like, oh, there's a new Republic Commando."
All
thing
that
coming
information
up.
can be used against that person, absolutely. So this is all just intel gathering. You know, don't do this goofy crap. You know, a lot of intel.
Or do the wrong thing. Misinformation is good too.
Well, true. That is to throw them off the trail. You know.
Same.
Well, and here's the thing, you can use that information by doing Google searches and finding more information about you. Multigo is crazy. You put in little bits of information and it just plots all kinds of stuff.
Really, Multigo?
Multigo is a phenomenal program. If you haven't had a chance to use it, I used it for the stock assignment. It was absolutely phenomenal. They mostly troll social engineering, or social science is what it is.
Right.
So, you know, it goes finds Facebook, MySpace, everything else. So it's a phenomenal program. But check it out, look at tutorials. It's pretty good. So when you're traveling, be an asshole. I apologize for cussing. So,
There's ladies in there.
I apologize. My daughters, if they heard me. So while you're out traveling, you want to avoid eating at the hotel that you're staying at. You know, if somebody's going to social engineer travelers, they're going to go to the bar because that's like the easiest place for people to go. If they're on vacation, they don't want to travel, they don't go, travel too far, just, the bar's right there, it's easy. Rent different vehicles, while you're out traveling. You don't want to, wave that one taxi cab that's just sitting there waiting for that call and say, hey, I got it, and they jump in. What movie was that? That was, assassin movies with,
Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Collateral Damage, or
Yeah.
Collateral
Oh,
Damage
that's
one.
right.
Well, but he wasn't the social engineer though. But there was another movie with Sylvester Stallone and
Antonio Banderas.
yes,
Assassins.
Assassin. Okay, so I was right. But he waited in a cab until he found out
Listen for the call.
for the call to the airport, which he knew he was traveling. And said, I got it, picked him up, and he was supposed to kill him. So that's a good way to be able to follow your target. Register under a different name so that
I see Wiener.
I wouldn't go that far because I don't think the hotel would believe you. Use cash if possible. Don't use your personal credit cards. As easy as it is, that's a paper trail. People can keep track of it. Plus, they can steal your information if they get
A lot of
it.
hotels these days won't let you pay for cash because they want to make sure that you have credit card information in case you damage something.
Which is, it's hard to get around stuff like that, especially if you're traveling on business. You have to use their company cards and stuff like that.
What
So
I do is-
things like that are unavoidable. But
One of the things I do, because it's like I'm paranoid about that, is like I deliberately tell them, it's like, remove the mini bar. It's like I'm not giving you a card. It's
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
here's, I'm just not gonna do it. So it's like,
Yeah.
look, I don't carry a card. You can't make me carry a card. Take out the mini bar.
plus those things are so expensive, they overcharge for it anyway. So,
$3 per M&M, right?
Yeah.
And while you're traveling, have a neighbor pick up your mail and your newspapers. Nothing screams, I'm not home, like a big pile of newspapers that's sitting out in front of your house. Yeah, and you can arrange stuff with the post office. Tell them, please hold my mail until I go. They're more than willing to do it, and it's free. I don't think I have to pay for that. And I know we all know
Yeah,
this.
they will not do their job for free, so.
They will.
Yes, they will.
And
Like that.
a lot of us who are in information security know you don't broadcast your travels on social sites, like what social engineering sites, social sites like social networking sites. You don't tell people you're out
Social
traveling.
engineering side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all.
Well, actually, they are social engineering sites.
Well, they are to us.
Socialengineering.net. Yes, I will be traveling.
Yes. So you don't want to broadcast where you're going because that's a prime time for anybody to come to your house.
So what do you do about your out of office?
If you're out of office,
No, you're out of office when people email you and it replies on your behalf.
You don't set that
You
up.
lie to it, say, I'm just not here.
I just don't want to talk to you.
yeah. I mean,
Don't set it, just don't respond to it.
Yeah, I just don't, I
It's
just
right there
don't, I
at the
just
top,
don't
Chris,
even say.
be an asshole.
I mean,
Lie about it. Hey, I'll be
It's
right.
none of your
I'll
business.
be right back.
I mean, that's
Out of office assistant.
Actually, that's what I have mine set to all the time.
That's standard
Right
reply.
Okay, so if you're in a bar, which is, the mecca for people social engineering you, if anybody approaches you that you don't know, tell them, you're too fat, you're too skinny for my taste. You look at Roy, it's like, I hate the color orange.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
Hey, Patty, what's up?
Somebody comes up to you, it's like, I only take chicks or dudes,
So
Oh,
you
just
my
like
face
Fred.
is covered.
You say things like, "Old Yeller was such a romantic movie."
Or you can say Schindler's List was such a romantic
Schindler's
movie.
List was a funny movie. That movie was hilarious. Or Kristen Stewart is my absolute favorite actor. Now, the reason why you want to say these things, because if somebody is actually trying to social engineer you, and they stick around after you say these messed up things, they're looking for something. If somebody's like, "Oh, you're an a-hole, thank you very much," and they walk away, they don't need anything from you.
Then go back and say, I'm sorry. Let's
Yeah, but it's one of those things, you want to throw them
That's
off the
their
trail.
train.
If they're
To
like,
walk
"Oh my
away.
God, that's the funniest thing you've ever heard," it's like they're trying to get information from you. They're looking for something.
Better than me.
But all these things are gonna.
Who really thought
guarantee
Schindler's
you're gonna
List
leave
was the
the bar
funniest movie ever?
alone.
But what was Schindler's List about? It? Keep on.
Then
You guys have seen more.
That's why you lie to them.
Hilarious.
you can lie, but well,
It's a lonely life.
yeah, and it's going to have to be a lone life. It's either being a hard target or a soft target, which kind of
Works.
it's the opposite. Yeah.
Also, it depends on if you're working or not. It's like if you're just going to a bar to drink or you're just going somewhere to like a roast. I was in Beijing at a McDonald's and two girls came up to me and were trying to hit on me. And it was just straight up going like, sorry, not interested.
Yeah.
I said, and they shut down. It's like just, you don't have, sometimes it's not, just at a bar trying to pick you up. They'll do it anywhere and stuff, it's like where you're going just to see if you're lonely and stuff, So it's like you just go and just say, just shut down the conversation. Look, I'm not interested in meeting new people. Sorry, that's what the internet's for. It's like I don't do it in real life, I mean, and that's basically the way I treat it. So say if it's someone outside of the conference, and it's like, and you see, and there was one place in Berlin. This guy was walking, us meeting him someplace, and he comes up and I'm walking and stuff, and he's like, "Dude, I was irregular. Are you mad?" And I'm like, "No, that's just that don't F with me face and stuff, It's like you just walk like you're like. You don't want to be messed with and stuff, It's like, and people just pick up on that. It's like, just shut it down and stuff when you're traveling.
Yeah.
It just,
Absolutely. And like I said, reasons, if you really are a target, they're going to stick around and try to get more information. And they're, people who are really good at social engineering will shoot those, they'll fire some bullets off, of ideas. They'll blast that innuendo away or that insult away. They're going to keep going. A lot of people train themselves every day on how to social engineer people. They will stick around. And you know that you're probably a target and you should watch yourself and be careful. So be aware of your surroundings and never assume that you can never be a target. And my kung fu is stronger. Thank you very much.
Real quick, show of hands, who's Rose State here? Okay. Shalana, are you going to participate in the CTF?
Actually, I have an announcement.
Everybody run.
Actually, I'm going to be teaching at OSUIT.
Awesome! Congratulations!
So I will not be here in the fall physically, but I will be teaching some classes online. And when you guys get to OSUIT, I'll
Down.
see you guys. Well, maybe online.
Online,
I guess online.
Yeah.
Facebook.
I'm gonna find out if, the folks in Upmulgee want to participate in this, if that's okay with you guys.
I emailed them about that earlier this week. I'm a senior there right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody's on break right now because
Yeah.
finals ended last Friday. So I'm still waiting to hear back on some things.
Dakota Kelly said some of their soccer club members are talking about putting up a unified front, so.
I haven't heard anything about that. I know a few people there, but everything's online.
He said they're talking
so-
about it right now, batting it back and forth, and they have some interested parties, but they're not sure timing wise where they're gonna be because it's so far out, but.
I thought about talking to Professor Dewey since he teaches there and here. That way we could possibly get the schools communicating with each other.
Well, I had actually talked to Ted Ward about this,
Okay.
and he's really jazzed about this. I told him about what you guys are doing. Anyway.
He'll probably
Anyway.
I don't think you
So-
understand. I'm gonna start using that. That's what we're talking about.
That's
Yeah, they're gonna be
plagiarism.
jazzed.
But, I mean, I think we can do something. What's your
Cool.
name again?
Lars.
Lars, is that your last name?
That's my first name.
Okay, what's your last
No
name?
relation.
Schoenauer.
Tonar, okay. I only
That's such
remember
a cool
last
name.
names, really. Everybody will tell you, I can't.
Yeah, from
remember.
now on, you're
I'm the
Mr.
only person in the
Schoenauer.
United States with that name. I figured that out from
Better than
the
this.
spy project we did in
Okay.
Sim one he had to do. But yeah.
Well, great. All right,
Will
so,
you not be teaching here anymore?
just as an adjunct.
Okay.
So maybe online.
What courses are
What-
you going to be teaching there?
This summer?
At
Starting
OSU.
Fall at
Monday?
OSU.
Well, this Monday I start.
Okay.
So I'll be teaching Python, like scripting,
Oh, script programming?
yeah,
Okay.
security
I didn't catch that.
commerce, and secure server administration.
Well,
So I was talking about while you were talking with Professor Ward, because he does a lot of programming, so
What was Python?
I met him
It
a
was
couple weeks ago, he's nice.
I got in there, we're not gonna discuss that.
I was hoping to get into the meat and potatoes, sorry to cut everybody off. But real quick, I do need to see a show of hands, keep them up. Those who are part of Rose State, keep them up, and are going to participate in the CTF. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of you, so that means there's 7 others. Out of U10, are any of you really proficient with Linux? Feel really good about your Linux skills?
I'll throw the hand up there.
Okay, so Ira?
If I feel good, I know my way around.
Do you think you can show other people things?
I know how to use Google, so yes.
Okay, but
You know what, init.d is a good thing to know. It's like, if you know that, then you're needed.
You know what?
Init.d.
Yeah.
So, and out of the same 10, is there, Ira, you're out of this one. Is there anybody really good and proficient at Windows?
Server.
Windows Server? Anybody at all? Who thinks they're the most proficient in the room?
Yeah, who's Active Directory proficient, what is it?
Just anybody.
I once downloaded Windows servers on a computer. It was
If you
2003.
stayed at a Holiday Inn last night, that'll qualify.
I've used enough to set up services.
I don't.
So-
decent.
So do you feel comfortable?
No, I don't know
potentially leading
Windows
people
Server
through? Okay.
all too well.
Okay.
At least in 10.
All right.
Yes.
Talk to me in a second, two of you. Okay, everybody else, if you do not raise your hand, and you're not Jason, you're not Shalon, is there anybody really good at Linux who wouldn't mind sharing their skill set?
Semi-decent with it.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Kevin,
Kevin?
I would call myself proficient. I wouldn't say.
All right, well, I'm asking for leaders. Who wants to be the leader here? You know, a Linux leader.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, you guys pick it up.
Well, come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lars, because he's a senior. I pick Lars.
All right.
And he's the leadership.
And then same question for the rest of us. Who's really good at Windows?
Maybe Daniel.
Server?
Non-roasted.
Oh, no,
What server edition is it?
2003, 2008, or 2012, doesn't matter.
I'm somewhat familiar with 2008. I did like SQL stuff in there for one of my classes.
Okay.
Been
So-
last summer, but I
So
can
you'll
figure
take
it
the other.
out.
You'll take the other role. Okay. Here's why I asked.
You're double leader.
Well, no, just switch it around then. It's like, Kevin's the leader for
And then I
Linux,
can
and
do
then he'll
Linux, that way I can do
be, and then he'll be
Windows.
doing Windows, yeah.
Yeah. that'll work perfect. Okay, we're gonna break. There will be 2 teams. Since there are people that are not a part of Rose State and there are people not a part of OCCC, we can't really have the team names OCCC and Rose State. So I need your help in creating some amusing names. You can come up with whatever. Irregulars has already been taken, so.
Well, that's everyone as a whole.
Right. We thought about red team, blue team, but that implies attacking and defending, which both teams will be doing simultaneous. So, we'll
The
come back.
French and the Germans.
The Hounds of the Baskervilles and Moriarty.
It was
Oh no,
budget
I don't
too
know another villain and stuff here from Sherlock. So that's
So we'll come back to that in a second. So each team,
Gravitate right to the villains, right?
Mozzarella Parmesan?
each team.
That's too cheesy.
Matthew said.
That hurts.
Awesome. I can feel the burn.
So there will be 2 teams, and each team there will be 2 groups. One group will be the Linux group, and your job is to secure a Linux server and use the attack machines. The other group will be the Windows server. You secure the Windows server. I'll show you. What's your question?
Oh yeah, but are we gonna like attack the different servers simultaneously? Like the Linux is gonna attack the other Linux and Windows? At the
No,
same
I'll
time?
get to that in a sec. So that's why I needed leaders, people who were going to run the groups, so who actually felt comfortable in sharing their skills. You will be responsible for locking them down as best as possible. Yes, our objective is going to be to entirely screw you over. So that brings.
Will be
So Daniel, you'll be You'll get your group together. You'll protect the Windows server. Ira, you'll protect Linux. You'll protect Windows Server, and Kevin, you'll protect the Linux server. So the way it works is, I don't know if you guys can see it, I can zoom in. What it is we have 4 machines for Team 2 and 4 machines for Team 1. There's 2 machines that are attack machines. Essentially, they kind of need to stay off. We don't want, if you're using it, it's great. If you're not using it, turn it off. You can load whatever OS you want on them, whether it's Kali, whether it's other things. We prefer you to do it from scratch. Set up Ubuntu and put your own tools on there. Do whatever you want. If you want a Cane enable running or other things like that, however you want. You can load whatever you want onto these machines. The other 2 machines is going to be Ubuntu server, and I have the IP address. And there's going to be a 2008 server, and I also have the IP address. And the groups will be responsible for securing that. So Daniel, for example, you could use one of the attack servers. And by the way, on Wednesday nights, we can use any of the PCs in which labs?
Multiple labs.
We can go to any of the labs? Okay, so you can use the PCs here. When we're all here, we can use any of the PCs as attack machines. When we're not here, we have 2 virtuals that we can dial into at any time. So if you don't have a login, get with myself and Roy. We want to make sure you have that. But Dan, for example. All right, go ahead.
Now, question: are we going to have machines per person or 2 machines per team?
4 machines per team.
4 machines total, so 2 servers, 2 attacks. Okay.
Yeah.
This
2
is
machines to attack with.
This is what we're trying to limit here. We were dealing with resource issues on vSphere.
Sure.
We're trying to limit exactly what everyone has. We have a plethora of physical machines though. We have like I think a total of 4, maybe 5 labs, all with computers that are connected to the same network, that are all ready for live boot if you guys want to do backtrack, all sorts of stuff. We want to limit the strain on the actual vSphere though.
Okay.
So the idea is 2 virtual attack machines. If we're all going to be meeting up here on Wednesday anyways, physical machines out the wazoo.
So-
that'll be
We got
great.
another Kevin.
Hi.
Hi.
And on that note, I guess it wouldn't necessarily be advantageous to have one of them be a Linux attack machine and the other one be Windows-based.
However you want to do it.
However we want to do it.
Yeah, you're the attacker. There are no rules. Okay, I take that back. Okay.
So we can hack the FBI and then later blame it on somebody.
No.
To be honest,
Okay, it only takes one person to ruin this for all of us. So don't attack OKC.gov, don't attack FBI.gov, please don't do those, and no DOS attacks.
I like to stress the fact, since I'm sort of involved in this,
Really?
This is not a threat, okay, but, and I don't like to talk,
I promise.
big about myself, but I know a lot of people in this industry, it's like, if you screw this up, you will live to regret it for a long, long time. And it's like, and I don't mean any kind of threatening, like I'm gonna beat you up or like that. That means it's like, everybody in this industry will know about it, they'll know what you did and stuff, and you will be unhireable in this industry. It's like, if you screw this up. So it's like, we're trying to be defenders, we're trying to do good things and stuff, and you do not want me out on Twitter and stuff, or at conferences, talking about the guy and using you as the example of how we made your life miserable.
You don't want your name to become a verb.
Yeah. And trust me, you could ask Yentz, it's like, he's already a verb. It's like, you do not want to become a verb, okay? You do not want to get Yentzed.
I mean, we have an attack range set up for you guys right now. About the only thing that's going on those are those servers right there that are going to be defending.
This will be posted on the website. I can give you printouts if you want, as long as Roy's cool with that.
Absolutely.
So, but I'll make sure you'll have copies of this. But yeah, when we're here, you can hop on the machines, you can attack to your heart's content. If we're not here, dial into the machines. There can be more than one person on each machine. You guys can communicate. However, I strongly encourage having some sort of change log for the defense. So if you, for example, if you run SE Linux and you set certain things, let people know.
Sure.
Yeah, just have some sort of running change log, but don't make it where the other attack team knows exactly what you did.
Right.
If you're gonna change the password, your team members need to know about it. But real quick, right back on the DOS thing, we here in the Rose State classes, we teach DOS attacks. We don't encourage them to do people to do them, but every once in a while somebody does it, and the right one, especially broadcast DOSes, can take the entire network down here.
And I have to fix it, and I will find you.
No, you did.
And Jason will tweet about you.
Boy, Roy took 12 hours.
The slides in that class even say, do not ever do this. Just
And
don't
big
type
red
these
letters.
things in.
And one thing that Chris is bringing up that's, I think, very big, it's like, when we talked about the documentation, it's like, that's going to help you in your future jobs. It's like, if you document and you do this, like, this is not just about CTF, about learning how to pwn another machine. It's how to do it properly and how to do it like a red team, how a pen tester would do it, because that's the skills that you need when you get out of college and stuff, and you want to start working. It's like anybody can go and run Metasploit and take down a server. Can you write a report on how you did it and what the methodology was and stuff, and the results of that? That's what gives you money.
Yeah.
That is what gets you paid. It's like, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. If you can't write that report, no one cares what you did.
Well, I think that's wonderful, because as you guys know, everybody has to write term reports, term papers in my classes, so.
So if you copy and paste your documentation
They're like,
into the term report, you're good, right?
so it's very important.
So, but yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you said that.
For example, Danny and I actually work together, and we have to actually, we go to on site, we'll secure things, we'll set things up, and the whole idea is, if I ever get hit by a bus,
I was gonna ask who's gonna get hit by the bus.
yeah, it was me today.
Okay.
I'm really waiting for it. That I want Danny or somebody else to be able to step in and see exactly what I did. Also, just like Jason said, it's how you get paid, it's how you justify everything that you did. Plus, it's a learning resource. There are things I did 5 years ago that I'm like, I don't remember how I did it. So I just go check my notes. There they are. I got my documentation. We literally document almost every minute of our day. I don't write, hey, this is when I went to the restroom, but at least put, I set up this server, I set these passwords, and I applied these patches.
If you get hit by the bus, you'll forget how to do that. Jason.
Oh, no. So,
I thought logs.
but what we have here is, there are going to be two, maybe more in the future, virtual machines. What Jason doesn't know is he's going to be helping me configure these.
What?
We're making puzzles.
Hi, Jason.
We're making puzzles.
Okay.
You and I are going to lock them down somewhat, but we're going to leave cookie or like a bread trail or a crumb trail. However that saying goes.
Yeah.
Now, The reason why I took this down while I was asking who wanted to do Linux, who wanted to do Windows, is because the Windows guys have it a lot harder. The machines are already set up. I've already got them going, and I installed a lot of default services on them. So the only one,
You're welcome.
these have to stay
On
running.
Linux and Windows, there's going to be services that have to be running no matter what anyway.
You are disqualified if you turn off your services, or if you change your IP address, or you turn off your NIC. I have access to all the servers. If I see that you've done this, there's also track logs. I can see who did it and when. So don't take yourself off the network. These have to be running. The Windows is going to be harder to lock down. Plus, there's no SE Linux. So sorry. But these have to stay running. They have to be accessible. So you are not allowed to wipe the machines. We've got snapshots, so if you do wipe them, we'll bring them right back up to where they were at the beginning. So you'll actually be doing yourself a disservice, especially if you spend an hour or two locking them down. Now, they all have default configurations, default passwords. That's why I'm not going to let you guys attack each other just yet. Because you're going to know each other's passwords. What I want you guys to do once we break is we're going to go in the lab and get in your groups. Each group leader will need to separate who wants to be on which team. I'd like even teams. Right now we have 8 non-Rose State guys and 10 Rose State guys.
Yeah, so let me interject really quick, because Simmons was talking to me and I missed a part. I'm a Rose student,
Okay.
so I don't,
It's not OCCC Rose State.
Right.
We're basically
Right.
two groups
Well,
of no
Right.
matter what. So no more Rose State, OCCC.
for
Like,
right
just two
now,
groups.
that's how we're doing the split. I don't want there to be some crazy rivalry where everybody ends up hating Rose State. But for right now, that's our split. As more people come on, we're going to fill the teams arbitrarily. There's not going to be...
Yeah, it's I think by the time November comes around, it's like we can start. It doesn't have to be like a humongous group of people from one college and another. It could just be just random, just different teams and stuff. Through the whole time till November comes around, y'all start working together. You start getting real life like, oh, I'm working with this group really well. It's like we want to form our own team and stuff, And then boom, you're your own team. It's like, and it doesn't matter. It's like 3 from OCCC, 2 from Rose, or some people that are not going to be from either one might start showing up too, because it's like this is open for everybody. So you may get someone from a coworker that shows up that says they want to get involved in it, and then they're not from any college at all. So create it in that field that it's going to be not a college specific. It's going to be team specific. You're going to be attacking and being attacked.
Actually, I had a real quick idea. Since right now we've got a 10-8 split, what I could do is we've got 2 Rose State. Well, yeah, hold on a minute. That's exactly what I'm going for. We've got 2 Rose State guys and 2 non-Rose State guys. These are the group leaders. And why don't we just flip 2 of them? So there's a Rose State and a non-Rose State on one team.
no, we have 3 Rose State and 1 not. That's what I,
Yeah,
because he is Rose State.
I'm Rose.
Okay, that's the problem. Okay.
Right.
You now represent not Rose State.
Problem
It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you the whole thing about the Rose State thing, because it's like it doesn't matter if you represent Rose State or not. You're going to be attacked. It doesn't matter if you're being attacked by the other groups. You're still being attacked. So it's like you're still.
Your mentality is
Yeah.
the school thing is
I've
not
gone to all 3
necessarily
schools.
applicable.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
not
Yeah.
anymore.
The exercise is more important than what school you're from.
Right.
Exactly.
So actually, I think it's a really great idea because if I pair
Or not.
if I pair Daniel with Lars, that gives us 9. And if I pair Ira with Kevin, that also gives us 9. So 4 of you need to go to Ira, 5 of you need to go to Kevin. There's another Kevin.
Because those 2 are Windows, those 2 are Linux.
Hi.
Oh wait, no, you're both Linux.
Yeah, those 2 are Linux, those 2 are Windows.
the 2 Linux
Yeah,
and 2 Windows.
Oh, no. Skip that one.
What you just said, let's rewind.
All right. So your Windows.
So Dan and I.
Try one of these
and Ira
guys. Try one of
Lars.
these. Pick one. No.
Oh, you're making it confusing. Okay.
Kevin and Daniel,
Kevin and Daniel.
and then
Lars and Ira.
Lars and
There
I.
we go. All right, then that's the teams. So essentially, I'd like 5 people for the Windows because that's a lot harder. So you need to be a group of 5. You're one of them. So you need to find 4 more people. Large, you need to do the same. That's a little bit more difficult because you may not know any of the names here.
Yeah, I've learned as I go.
And also, when someone was talking about having a window attack machine, that's all good and stuff and could be done. But honestly, if you're trying to learn how to do pen testing and actually trying to learn how to attack a server and how to go after someone, use Linux, because it's like, not even just backtrack, just use Linux because it's going to be more difficult and but also it's built better for doing those kind of attacks.
So, real quick with the neutral capture flag service, these will be always on. We're going to configure them as much as we can, either today or the next few days. They're always going to be on. We've already got their IP addresses set. We know exactly what they're going to get. You're welcome to capture the flag at any point. I'll post it on the Google groups. If you haven't joined, join the Google groups. Shalon, are you part of the Google groups?
I don't think I've joined this.
I got to approve your
I'll
request,
join
but
it.
did you get past everything else?
I did. I just used an alternate account, but for the time being, OSU IT students will not be able to join the group. They're going to have to use an alternate ID.
The OSU IT uses Google Apps, right?
Yeah, but I forwarded you the email that
Yeah.
the help desk sent me, and they said like the students can't use public groups at all.
Right. Well, but you can go around it pretty easy. So,
It's like I use a different email address. Big deal.
oh, that was hard. So,
Such a non-issue at this point.
I'll tell you what the flag is on the machine, and you're welcome to grab it. Okay, anytime that you grab, essentially the flags on these, grab root. Get root or do a dump of the password file, that like the SAM file. Do a hash dump. Well, not more than just a hash dump. Well, what do we think? I think a hash dump's acceptable because somebody may put in like 100-digit or 100 character password, which would take forever to crack.
Right.
So I think a hash dump is proof enough. You can also YouTube yourself doing it, or I mean, like you can record it, post it on YouTube. We just need some sort of proof that you own the box. As far as the neutral servers, nobody's going to be able to defend them. Your job is to attack them at will. Anybody can attack them, and we'll give each team some just like little points, like, hey, you own a box. Every time you own a box, how do we want to do keeping track of who does what with each team? If they own a box, we want to give them credit.
They have to submit the flag.
Yeah, well, no, they'll get the flag, but we'll just say, you know, team 1 has owned 1 box. Team 2 has owned 3 boxes. I don't know. That's a competition.
No, it's based on there's because there'd be more than 1 flag in 1 box.
Okay. Then but we'll keep track of how many flags each.
How many
team
flag?
gets.
How many?
Yeah.
You keep an ID on the flags like that. What you do is you create a file, have an MD5 hash on it and stuff, so that way they can't create their own flag, and then say it's the flag that you put there. It's like and you leave it on the machine.
What about hash dumps of the password files? Is that also a good flag?
That can be, no, that's just for access. It's like you want to give them, they have to get the flags, because the flags means that they have to take a file off the box.
Okay. So you heard it. We'll have
What's the
some.
file name flag?
What should the?
Actually, that's what they're usually called, flag 1, flag 2, flag 3. It's like, you know, just,
So as far as the machines that are defending, since we control so many moving files around, should the flag be on the box? Or
if you're getting a file off their box, you've owned the box.
so, but we really can't enforce anybody having a file in one spot unless I'm getting on there and checking.
Yeah, I mean, we could write a script and move that file.
But see, the whole thing is, guys, it's like,
Yeah, don't really.
it gets to the point, we can't over dramatic with the rules, because quite frankly, if you change the files around and you hide and stuff, you know, good for you. You've not accomplished anything. It's only going to be fun if you actually play with good sportsmanship. So yeah, you can go and take all the flags and put them in a folder and then true crypt it and stuff, you know, and you got the flags on the box, because I've seen that happen. But guess what? You've accomplished nothing. And so, you know, your box still got owned. Someone still was able to find and look around your machine. They didn't get the flags. You just look like a sore loser. It's like, so we keep the flags. The flags are going to be in certain directories. It's like we put them in the directories, and then you just don't mess with them. It's like if someone takes them, they take them. It's like, and if you get theirs, you get theirs. You don't want anybody screwing with your stuff and stuff, you know, and they don't want you screwing with theirs. So it's like, and within the realm of, you know, you're screwing with it.
Right.
So,
Honor system among the thieves.
I mean, the whole thing exactly. It's like because one of the things that we're not thieves. Like we're going to be pen testing. It's like we're doing this. It's like it's got to be ethical and it's got to be this is the way it's supposed to be done.
Honor
What should
among white
the,
hats.
since we haven't set the flags, just yet, what should the flags be? You're saying a file.
It's usually like an icon file. Just get a different icon file for each one and just label it flag 1, flag 2, flag1.ico, flag2.ico. It's
They'll all
like,
have a unique hash, so
We'll do
you
that.
huh?
they'll all have a unique hash.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, what I do is I've got a whole bunch of icons and stuff, so you just get a whole bunch of just old icons and stuff, It's like not Windows-based icons, but something that looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. And that's flag1.ico. It's like you do a MP5 hash on it, and it's on the machine.
Now, I know this is going to go against your better judgment, but I will need, once you set your passwords, I will need your passwords. I'm going to get that from the group leaders.
The passwords are going to be generic, not used by anybody else for anything else, seriously, so.
Right. Don't put your financial
Yeah,
passwords. Rather.
Diet Pepsi 1 counts, so.
That's already taken.
Yeah.
My cat's name 23.
So,
That was the admin password going, I'm sorry, man, I'm so
Crap,
sorry.
I'm changing now, they're 3.
But while you're here,
Three.
while you're here, we've got boxes. Plus, if you have access to other vSphere boxes, you can spin those up, run Cali. That's really a big benefit of the Rose State guys because we have more than one box if you're in another class. But while you're here, you can take these machines, you can boot to Kali Linux and other things. Just don't wipe the machines. Do you image nightly or?
We don't image nightly, they're just all deep for.
So, but if we wipe the box, we can image it if somebody accidentally.
Yes.
Okay. So just don't wipe the boxes. I expect everybody to do better.
Oops. Not right now, every time.
So,
But something I was wanting to bring up as far as the vSphere thing, what we're hoping to do is get a VPN up and running, so you guys can do this a little bit more easily through some sort of remote means. That will be later though. It's been a project in works, and honestly, this is justification for it. So that.
And this would be tied into their login account. Active Directory login account, right?
Most likely it should be. I do believe it would be.
Okay.
But
At that
are
point,
you guys all okay with the idea that you guys are, at least initially, for the most part, going to be up here on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Feeling
Yeah.
that it's true for the most part?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. Because the physical box will take a tremendous strain off of vSphere, and honestly, vSphere, if you guys have ever used it, when it's slow, sucks to use when it's loaded. It is horrid, the UI is skippy and jumpy. Honestly, it'll make it a better user interface locally, so. That's one thing.
that's why we limited it to attack servers when you're not here. However, once you get the VPN, if we can get that pushed through, that point, your home machines or a virtual machine on your laptop or something can become your attack machine. So, like I said, don't DOS. Do not DOS.
Well, if they DOS the VPN, I mean,
Well, the VPN
that's
goes
going to
down.
be hilarious because they're just going to hit the VPN, it's just going to die.
So this is a great chance for everybody.
It's really not that funny, but okay.
This is a great
Well, no,
chance.
it's gonna
If you have
hit
any
their
questions
edge.
or
Oh,
want to work
yeah,
out
yeah.
kinks,
So-
I've never done this before, and I'm really going off of a lot of instruction off of Jayson.
Okay, if we're like defending or leading the defenders, do we also attack later on?
Yeah, you're attacking simultaneously.
No, you're doing the both at the same time. You're gonna have to
You're
make sure you
attacker
have.
and a
But
defender.
Shield
if
in one
we're
hand,
Windows
sword in the
defender
other.
leader, we should be attacking from Linux though.
You should, yeah, but you should have, it could be anything, but you should have, on a 5-man team, you're going to have one person dedicated to protecting your Windows server. One person dedicated to protecting your Linux server that's monitoring the logs, that are watching that. And you got 3 people that can either be defending or attacking simultaneously. So that's how you want to usually have a 5-man team. You want to have one person that's dedicated to watching the logs, seeing what's going on, trying to do forensics or incident response as it's happening live. And then you've got 3 other people that can be attacking or helping that person patch, but mostly just attacking the other servers.
Any other questions? I mean, is everybody on board with what we're doing here?
Also understand that Road Clown is going to be throwing in other kinds of, a different kind of CTF. This is one kind of CTF. It doesn't even happen very often in conferences. It's just one I'm familiar with. The other kind of CTF is actually you have a team that's actually solving problems, cryptographic problems, trivia problems. It's like network-based problems, packet captures, things of that nature. So you'll have people tasked and dedicated to trying to figure that out. And I know she's throwing those kind of things in there too. So while you're attacking, you're also trying to solve problems and stuff, you know, with your team. So
We can do those kinds of problems. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
He just gave me a new project.
yeah, so it's going to be that's how this is going to work. So
Another thing, when
Cute
you're
boys need to
documenting, when you document what you're doing, if you make progress on your attacks, document it. Hey, look, I got into, I broke into their FTP server. Oh no, I hit a CH root. Document that so you know you've already started moving forward on it. So, on those sheets of paper, I want you to gather your team members, put names on there so I can know, well, okay, group members, so I can know who's a part of which teams.
You said right now we're
Right now, I think we're going to.
Well,
So 9 and 9.
yeah, we actually split it.
No.
We swapped it around. So there's going to be on one team there'll be 4 row state and 5 non-row state, and then on the other team there'll be reversed. So 5 row state and 4 non. Currently, there are other members of this group that aren't here tonight, so and we'll add them to the list as we go. Does everybody have a working vSphere login?
I think so.
I do not.
You're both
I think so.
not row state or OTC, so we're going to go with
That would be wise. So.
Also, I've got a question that's totally related to this, but I wanted to bring it up before I forget again. On Route66.org, which is the for the conference and stuff, 366. We've been going through, and we had a meeting with the organizers and stuff. You know, Chris and Casey, Brittany, and I've talked to Marcus about it. And Marcus brought up a big thing about charging. It's like charging for attendance, which I'm like, I'm not thrilled about it. It's like, but he brought up a good point about helping to fund speakers. It's like, because I'm trying to get like, I've talked to Dual Core to do the party and to also do a talk. I'm talking to Dave Kennedy and Ralph Imacio from LA is going to be coming in. I mean, so we're trying to get some actual big name speakers to show up to be here. So that's going to cost money. I want most of the sponsors to foot it, but he brought up a good point that, I mean, DerbyCon is a local conference. It's like $100-something to attend, and it's huge and it's successful because even though they got sponsors, they're charging people. It's not an arm and a leg. And I would do it only if we could do a severe discount for college students and stuff, you know, because that's, and also if you're a goon, it's like if you're one of the ones that are actually, you know, volunteering with the conference, it's free automatically. So it's like, so I think a lot of people that are going to be in this meeting are probably going to come in for free. So that shouldn't be a thing, but it's like we got executives and people that are coming in for their CISSP, you know, CPE credits and stuff like that. It's like that probably could use it as a continuing education. It's like, and we might be able to get more people if we can do that. We might actually have some workshops that we could actually get in here and stuff, you know, like Raph have him do his Cobalt Strike class.
Right.
It's like have Georgia Wyman do her Metasploit class. Road Clown could do a workshop. So it's like Marty Carey can do one.
And Ralph's fee is not very, it's not great fee at all. So if he
Exactly.
pretty
So,
reasonable.
well,
If
no,
he's
I'd
interested
probably,
in education, he
no.
gets the licenses.
no, yeah, quite honestly, I'd probably get him in here just to be able to just show up and he'll probably do it for free and stuff, you know, it's like if we can pay for him to get out here.
Just for the viewpoint of the continuation of the conference, it'd probably be for the next year.
Yeah, because you don't want this a one-time thing either.
Right, exactly. And none of the money goes, and there's no profit. We're filing for nonprofit status for it. It's like none of this money goes to, you know, to my extravagant pizza habit. It's like it all goes into the conference, and it's like we make an excess of surplus for this year, that automatically gets folded into next year. It's like this is something that's going to survive everybody here, hopefully, and just keep going. So that's what we want it to be.
Hey, real quick, do we have any suggestions for team names? Anything?
I already threw mine out.
What was yours again?
Mozzarella Parmesan.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Working brilliant.
Rollo, what was it, Lolocopters and Lolocopters like that won the CTF at freaking DEF CON one year. So it's like, so yeah, it's like the names can be whatever.
Oh, okay, I want the,
cats and little dogs.
I say, yeah, chickens.
I want the group leaders to get with their guys and figure out what you want the team names to be. As long, you're with Ira and you need to gather people at this point.
Teach me how to be the goalie if you want.
And so you group's just over there.
It's you and Daniel.
Yeah, that's what we're about to give you.
I like
Exactly, so that's.
Yeah, especially in this town, it works well.
You want to go do with this?
Mr. Daniel.
Down on that end.
Yeah, he's still sitting there.
I think I'll.
I guess we can go over there.
I set it up on my computer to do SQL database stuff for one of my classes. That's about it. Nothing as far as securing it, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I'd be regarding as people tags, but I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of opportunity. It's more of a web application.
No, we're having a seminar on Friday, yeah. It's like usually it's the whole conference.
Try to even up
So it's like, I mean, but that's a good point. But, I don't know, I'm not.
Yeah, because
I guess just basically say it's.
That's what I'm saying. Richard's the only one
I
left.
think 5 windows, 4.
One group's gonna be on, and you guys get just for the evening. So, Richard was the new guy who was sitting back
Are
over
we
in the
accidentally
corner.
jumping teams on
Well, no. On logistics side of it, don't. It's like, that was another thing, guys. Make sure it's like the organizing committee, we've got people setting out, so for, if you know, for a place to hold it and stuff, you know, it's like, hold off on that because we've got one person who's running points on finding logistics. If we need something, we'll come to the group saying, we're looking for projectors or we're looking for this. Because eventually we're going to come to the group looking for switches and cabling for the CTF. But until we do that, just wait and stuff, you know, and just hold off on it. Because we want to make sure that we have a unified front stuff, you know, when we're talking to the people. So that way, one person talks, has an agreement, then all of a sudden, oh, I just talked to that guy, you know, 3 days ago. It's like, are y'all communicating? So let's just. So we're going to keep it all. Casey right now is the guy doing logistics. I'm doing speakers. Marcus is doing marketing. Chris and Brittany are doing the overall organization of it. And Sean's supposed to be doing sponsorship, but I haven't seen anything from that.
So if we want to volunteer, who do we get with to?
Brittany and Chris.
No, just asking a question.
You were asking?
I think Brittany's going to be doing a lot of the stuff we're helping organize the goons and the volunteers and stuff too. So
Who's doing sponsorships?
it's supposed to be Sean Satterley, though I haven't heard from him. So it's like if I don't hear anything from him soon, it's like he's no longer organizing. We'll be looking for a sponsorship person.
So if we keep getting more people, will there be more than just 2 teams possibly?
No. Trust me, there are going to be multiple teams. There is not going to be a 2-man CTF. Not with big conference. There will be like people showing up by themselves trying to attack and doing it solo. There will be multiple groups. You won't be defending the servers as much if it's like a big CTF. It's like you're just going to be all attacked. It's like, and then you're going to have a machine maybe in your group that people are going to go after. They're going to go after your attack machine.
I was just saying we have like 10 people each on the teams now. If there's another 10 people, so will that be like a 3rd team?
Yes, it's like there'll be more. Right now, our CTF is doing very generic and very basic because we're just learning to get involved in it. By September of this year, we might be able to start doing more of the cryptographic challenges. We're start doing more of the solo stuff. This whole thing is grows just the way that we want it to grow. Not to a structure of like, this is what the path is supposed to be. So that's how it's going to be.
Explain that one there.
I prefer the French one that's
No.
Because I know that I teach